Hello everyone, welcome to Project Pixar, and today we will be talking about Coco. Came out in 2017, I think November, right around Thanksgiving time.
Yep.
Noah, how are you doing today?
Bien.
Sí, señor. So this film was, so let's see, there was Inside Out, and then Finding Dory, and then Cars 3. So for me, that, again, Pixar was really fluctuating right here, and Finding Dory, Inside Out was like, oh, they're back. This is like premium Pixar. And Finding Dory is like, well, no, this is another sequel, and here's another Cars film. And then Coco was, to me, another return to form of like, yes, this is like premium Pixar. And to this day, I think it's the last great Pixar film they've made. So we'll see how we feel about this. All right, we're going to get right into it. Favorite character. I have a feeling we might pick the same person here, so I'll ask you first. Who's your favorite?
I chose Miguel. I think he's easily the best. His journey he's got a huge, a journey in the entire film. His arc is great. And learning and what's really important is family and his love of music is right there. It's easy to see parents having certain expectations of you and not living up to those expectations, but wanting to follow your dreams. Those are all relatable things, and he's very relatable. He's very funny. What a great performance by Anthony. What's his last name? Gonzalez. Anthony Gonzalez. This is a kid who is responsible for carrying this film. This character is on screen for probably 98% of the movie, and he just does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
It has to be Miguel for me.
100%. He carries it. Mine will also be Miguel. Hector gives him a good run for his money, but like you said, he is the film, and I don't know how old that kid was, but man, he just did a bang-up job. And he sings too. He's got to sing, he's got to act, and he's so energetic and he's so driven, and we are right there along with him for the ride, and we want to see him succeed so well.
And not annoying either.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I genuinely want to root for this kid. Sometimes kid characters can be very annoying, but he just, like you said, we want to see him succeed. We want to, do the fun thing. Do the thing you love. Don't do that lame thing that nobody else wants you to do. So the film is full of great characters, but Miguel is easily the standout.
What would be your least favorite moment or character in this one? Anything come to mind?
Clean sweep for me. As an acknowledgement to her, this is my girlfriend's favorite film. This is her absolute favorite Pixar film. The one thing, because she's been watching these Project Pixars, and she's like, oh, if I were to do that, she says she doesn't like the part with the cactus where they meet the Frida lady, and she's like, oh, and I have all these people, but I'm a cactus. But as a theater person, I've met people who are like that kind of artsy-fartsy type, so for me, I got a big kick out of that. I thought it was funny. So yeah, clean sweep for me. I think this film's pretty flawless.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't have a least favorite moment. I'd say maybe at the beginning it's a little slow, until they get to he gets to the land of the dead, the film just soars. It's amazing from there on. The beginning of the film is a little bit slower, introducing the character and everything, but even then, it's still great. So
I thought of you when this film started because you always complained about, they use a newsreel to start all these films.
Great job of introducing the background story there and very culturally interesting and appropriate too. So, yeah, thank you for thinking of me.
You're welcome.
But I really appreciate the way that this one started.
Okay, so standout animation detail. What stands out to you?
Has to be the design of the land of the dead is amazing, incredible. This is one of the only moments in animation where when you see it unveil before you, you're just like, wow, that's amazing, and all the little details and everything. And it has to be that. And just the colors pop, and the designs of the characters are great. I love the skull design of everyone. Everyone looks unique as well. I can't say enough about that whole design aesthetic was just fantastic.
Yeah, gorgeous film, gorgeous film. I have to mention, it's incredible the way he slowly turns into a skeleton as he spends the night there, to the point where when it's the final scene, when Ector is being forgotten and he's fading, and like his cheeks slowly, like during just that little scene, his cheeks get paler and paler, and you see his, like, you know, they didn't have to do that. They could have just said, oh, and then at midnight, boom, you turn into a skeleton. So the fact that they took the time to very slowly animate his body changing to the skeleton form all the way to that, again, those cheekbones just stand out in my mind so much. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff.
As far as like the first time you saw the film, what were your thoughts or memories of that?
Well, I was with this guy right here. The last film Noah and I so far have seen together. So this was the last Pixar film together, and he was in town for Thanksgiving, and we all went to the theaters and saw it. And I remember sitting right next to you, and especially during like the emotional moments, like I feel like I could feel your sadness right next to me too. You know, we were both kind of in that moment of like, getting teary-eyed and all that. It was just so delightful. And again, this is my girlfriend's favorite film, so she was just raving about it, and my buddy who we saw it with too, like we all just loved it so much. You could tell, again, it gave you this, that you could feel it in the theater, whether it was Noah next to me or the people behind me, you could feel them getting teary-eyed at the right parts. Like it was just so enjoyable. And because since it was the last one you and I have seen together so far, it also has kind of a little special place in my heart because of that. So yeah, this one was great.
And like I absolutely loved it. You know, what's funny about it was before I saw it, I thought it was gonna not be a great one. I think I remember kind of downplaying a little bit. I didn't really care for the trailers. I thought it was just gonna be a bunch of skeleton puns and
same.
So yeah, so I was like incredibly surprised and pleased with what we ended up getting. I thought it was. Yeah, it was incredible. It's a fantastic film.
Pixar is always so funny because, again, I don't really think any of their trailers are very good. And like you, I was just kind of like, I don't know if this.
One of their trailer for Cars 3 was Lightning McQueen is gonna die. So, you never know with their trailers.
Yeah, so I agree. It was quite a pleasant surprise.
That didn't happen in Cars 3, right? Lightning McQueen didn't die.
No, he didn't. But the trailer certainly made you think he was going to. So this is a big one for this film because it's a musical. Favorite musical moment?
And the music stands out so much in this film. It's what I remember the most about it, easily, and it's so beautiful and fun and energetic and very cultural. I mean, I don't know where to start. Like Poco Loco is amazing, and that whole competition scene, everything. Also love when he's singing at the party afterwards, when he's singing the song the Mi Familia.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that. With De La Cruz. Just in the difference between his Remember Me and what Hector's Remember Me is great as well, because it shows the different styles of the characters and what was important. And the end, the I love the song at the end.
Proud Corazon.
What's that song called? Proud Corazon. You feel proud, like you are proud of Miguel. It wells my heart up, like just thinking about it. Just every time I see it, I have like a happy tear because it just brings so much joy. It just reminds you of the journey that you were just on, and I can't say enough good things about the score for Coco.
Yeah, that includes Michael Giacchino's work with the score, and then Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez's songs. They're all great. I mean, I'll just follow up with Proud Corazon might be one of the best 2 minutes in Pixar. And just from the moment of seeing Hector finally get to, they let him through security, He sees Coco, he kisses her, and right as they start walking, it picks up, and the look on his face when he starts walking and he realizes he's not going to fall, like, he just gets this look of relief in his eye. And like you said, it pulls your heartstrings, and then the camera pans up with this perfect lyric, which is to a melody played on the strings of our souls in a rhythm that rattled us down to the bone.
Uh,
and it shows Dante and the cat fly, and they transition perfectly, and then to see all of them singing together, the ghosts are there, and man, when Hector grabs the guitar and he plays the spirit guitar, like it's incredible. It's possibly the best 2 minutes Pixar has ever made. Proud
I'm
Corazon is amazing, and Remember Me is just the evolution of that song. Like you said, I love that it starts with Ernesto's version, which is a super showy, super, with the showgirls, remember me. And, they got the harmonies and a big stage production, and it gets smaller and smaller as the film goes on. And it's so appropriate because when Miguel finds out that Hector was his grandfather, and he says, that should be you getting all that praise. That should be you playing for the world. He says, I didn't write it for the world. I wrote it for Coco. And the last time you hear that song, it's being played just for Coco. And man, I was fighting these tears. Like the way that is so gentle and so tender, and the way his whole family is sitting there watching, and he's like trying to hold back his own tears because he thinks he's going to lose his grandfather forever. And the way they have Coco just very slowly recognize the song, and she starts to sing with him. Like, I'm like welling up just thinking about it, man. It's Pixar perfection. God, it's such a good moment, and it's such good music. And like you said, it like spiritually just lifts you up out of your chair, even if you're still sitting there. Like, can't say enough good things about the music. All right, so favorite dialogue, line, or joke? What do you got?
I mean, and a lot of it is the music, man. I mean, a lot of the moments are through music. A lot of the funny stuff is through the music too. I love at the end the fight on stage for the microphone and the sing, or for the picture through the singing.
Yes.
And yeah, just so clever. Great way to incorporate music into this climax. I love that. There's some funny moments too. I like at the beginning when Miguel's like in his home live and he's like, dimple, no dimple, dimple, no dimple. The office guy, when he's getting allergic reaction to Dante and he sneezes, he's like, but he doesn't have any hair, and he's like, and I have no nose, but here we are.
Yeah.
That's a really funny line. I think the Frida Kahlo stuff is really funny. With they're like, and the dancers are all me, and then they go and they feed from a cactus who is also me. I
really love the line Miguel has to his great aunt Emilia, where she's chasing him down. He says, "But family's supposed to support you." I know how important that line was to my friend, and that one really stood out to me as well. And I love. Again, the film has such a great evolution of things. I love Ernesto de la Cruz's Seize the Moment, because the first time you hear it, it has a very different meaning than when he says it towards the end when he's revealed as the villain. Again, just really great evolution there. So those are the lines that stick out the most. God, Dante doesn't have any lines, but he's just very funny. And he always makes me laugh when he does that. So yeah, there's just, and I have to, it's a lyric technically, but I've always loved the lyric in Remember Me. Though I have to travel far, remember me each time you hear a sad guitar. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because it gives me Beatles flashbacks and it makes me think of George Harrison and While My Guitar Gently Weeps, but it's very beautiful and I love that lyric. So yeah, it's very good stuff.
Also, if lyric wise, I also like the Juanita song.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. He's like, her knuckles drag on the ground. He's like, that's not the lyric. There's kids present.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, and I want to go back on that scene, an animation detail. I love that when Hector plays and his friend disappears, the way the hammock is like the weight is distributed with both of them, and then it sinks in to just Hector. Like the way they animated just the hammock, the mass that was there and then suddenly isn't there. It's just like, man, Pixar is just, when they're on their game, they're on their game.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
I mean, I feel like I know the answer to this, but is there anything you would change? I'll just go ahead and spoil mine. No, there isn't. Film's amazing. What about you?
No, man, I can't think of anything I'd change. Like I said, I feel like it is a little slow at the beginning, but that's just the film ramping up, and that's not really there's no fault of the film for doing so. It's just something that I like things to be paced a little bit quicker, especially with animation, but other than that, no, nothing I would change.
we'll move on to our closing thoughts then. One of the things I've always really appreciated about this film, I think I've seen it 3 times now, is the story structure and the plot. And what I really appreciate is that the main conflict is an internal conflict. It's not external. And what I mean by that is, to solve the crisis of him getting back to his world, they could do it immediately. They even show that. They give him the pedal, he goes back, and then he takes the guitar. So it's not a matter of like, oh, how do we figure out how to get him back? Oh, you can do it. But the conflict comes from the fact that to do that, they want to ban him from music forever. And he's like, well, no, I'm not going to do that. And that's what sets him off to try to find De La Cruz. So I love that it's that internal struggle versus an external one. It's like, oh, no, I could get back at any time. I'm choosing not to because I'm not going to give up the thing I love. Your family shouldn't make you do that. It just makes it so interesting. And again, it creates this level of tension because it's not a matter of getting back on time. It's a matter of getting what you want out of this situation. So great story structure. I love that you mentioned the scene on stage at the end too. I always love when there's like a show within a show kind of thing going on. So
I like when she hands the mic to the bodyguard. He's like, oh,
yeah, he gets really shy.
I can't sing.
Yeah, it's a great film. So my girlfriend and I have been going through all the Disney films, including Pixar, which is why I've been watching them all again. And I remember, we're looking at the list and everything that's coming up after it. I was like, this is the last great Disney film, so far at least. Obviously, things come, and it's the last great Pixar. This is the last truly great film, and it's easily in my top 10. You'll get to see where I put it at the end. But yeah, just fantastic film that I can't say enough good things about.
Yeah, it's easily in my top 10, probably even my top 5. I think so. Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. I love it every time. It's one that every time I watch it, my love for it never fades. Like, yeah. It's a great watch every single time. The music's fantastic. The characters are great. I love it wholeheartedly. Mi corazón.
Yeah, Proud Corazón. All right, so that's it for 2017. Next is 2018, and we'll get a sequel that people have been asking for a long time, and that was The Incredibles 2. Yeah. And First Incredibles is my favorite Pixar film, so how's the sequel stack up? Tune in to find out. We'll see you then.